Good morning, guys. Welcome to Miss Brown, Miss Katsoulis' 7th grade science. It's Thursday, March 19th. We are still talking about interactions within ecosystems. And today we'll be reading the Oakland Zoo takes stand against single-use plastics with big changes in zoo operations. We will be reading that article and then working on filling out the accompanying worksheet. All right, so lots of pictures of all their plastics, so they switch to cans, try to cut down on plastics. Okay, Oakland, California, February 13th, 2020. Oakland Zoo, Conservation Society of California is taking action for wildlife by amending its own use in retail sales of single-use plastics. As global plastics pollution increases, its threat to wildlife and the environment. The zoo launches its No to Plastic public awareness campaign on Thursday, coinciding with the changes in zoo operations in eliminating many single-use plastics on site, and with the goal of becoming nearly 100% plastic-free in the future. Led by President and CEO Dr. Joel Parrott, plans for the zoo-wide effort to phase out as much plastic use as possible was set in motion a year ago, as statistics of global issue demonstrated the urgency for change. He notes a defining moment during a business trip to Taiwan in late 2018, where a museum displayed a necropsy video of veterinarians pulling what seemed like an endless stream of plastic bags and other plastic trash out of a killer whale's stomach. Plastic trash is everywhere, along our highways, in our creeks, and filling the ocean, posing a direct threat to animals globally. I'm proud to be one of the first zoos in the U.S. to step forward and advocate for the elimination of plastics in our environment, said Dr. Parrott, President and CEO, Oakland Zoo Conservation Society of California. It has been over a decade since the zoo banned plastic straws, utensils, and cup lids, but stronger action was needed. The single-use plastic audit began with many negotiations with multiple zoo vendors in providing and/or sourcing alternatives to plastic, starting with nearly 100,000 plastic bottled beverages sold at the zoo every year. The process took nearly a year, but progress was made. The Dasani water now sold at zoo restaurants had never been offered in an aluminum can and was newly engineered to be available at Oakland Zoo, along with an assortment of all canned-only beverages. Popcorn went from plastic bag containers to a paper-based box. Cotton candy is discontinuing until sustainable container is sourced, and single-use plastic package was reduced by 60% in the zoo's gift shop. A new retail section devoted to sustainability includes household items, stasher bags, metal straws, beeswrap, and more. These changes have influenced some other AZA, Association of Zoo and Aquariums, zoos to evaluate their own facilities in single-use plastics. Single-use plastic has also been eliminated from many daily internal operations. From the Animal Care Department to administration, the Audit instituted changes in animal food containment, phasing out trash bags, and upgraded waste sorting systems. As part of the public campaign to inspire others to reduce their use of plastics, on February 13th, the zoo will unveil Washed Ashore, Art to Save the Sea, plastic trash sculptures in Flamingo Plaza. Sponsored in part by Recology, a 100% employee-owned resource recovery company based in San Francisco, this new display provides the opportunity to tell the story about the direct impact humans have on the environment and what people can do to make a positive difference. Washed Ashore, larger-than-life animal sculptures constructed from plastic trash washed onto Oregon beaches, uses the power of art to spark change in consumer habits. Zoo partner Recology is working alongside global NGOs to put a California statewide initiative on the November 2020 ballot. The California Plastic Pollution Reduction Act of 2020 seeks to fund environmental restoration in areas that have been impacted by plastic pollution and providing funding for domestic recycling infrastructure. The measure would involve a reduction of plastic packaging entering the state of California and require single-use plastic packaging to be recyclable or compostable by 2030. The campaign is currently collecting signatures for the ballot initiative. Every weekend, guests can visit the #NoToPlastic action booth in Flamingo Plaza to learn how to become more plastic-free in their daily lives, along with the opportunity to sign an anti-plastic pledge. The pledge asks guests to eliminate a form of single-use plastic in their lives, like straws, bottles, cups, or bags. Along with the launch of the sculptures and on-site educational booths, the zoo hosts monthly creek cleanup. February 15th marks the start of new monthly off-site No to Plastic cleanups in local waterways and beaches throughout Alameda County, beginning with Jack London Aquatic Center. Staff and the public will work in the local bay-destined waterways to remove the trash, including the ever-abundant plastics that harm wildlife. Single-use plastic facts. More than 70 million tons of single-use plastics are produced every year. Only 9% of what is put in recycling bin actually ends up being recycled. The rest ends up in landfills, the ocean, or simply dumped. And it will take about 1,000 years to decompose. That's in reference to what I was talking about in an earlier discussion about us making sure we clean out like 98% of the stuff in our recyclables, so it can be actually recycled. Another point of fact is with 8 million tons of plastic finding its way into our oceans annually, there will be more plastic than fish in the sea by 2050. 100,000 marine mammals die each year from consuming or becoming ensnared in plastic. Animals on land are being equally affected by plastic. Littered plastic bags, fishing wire, and bottles commonly trap and entangle wildlife. 1 million seabirds are killed each year from plastic pollution. Wow. That's pretty breathtaking, but encouraging and exciting to read that the Oakland Zoo is doing this. So what we're going to do is pivot to the worksheet. That was our plastics and their impact. All right, so we have this for a reference to help use what we can. And here is our hyperdoc. So we have plastics and their impact. So we read these, watched these, and then we're gonna record some of the benefits and negatives. So I'm trying to use the article I just read to input most of this so that you guys will use the other articles and videos and information you know to help fill in the rest. But I realized that some of this, this article didn't address all the questions in here, so I'm gonna be pulling from some of the articles I read and the videos. So step 2, record some of the benefits and negative impacts of plastics you learned about from the article and videos in the chart below. So one of the benefits of plastics in a couple of the articles and videos, one of the big ones I thought was really good was this one, which really told us a lot about what was going on here. So we had some benefits of being lightweight, pliable, to keep us safe from harsh chemicals, and they're convenient, where some of the biggest one, let's see, we have health safety from harsh chemicals, and we'll put safety gear. There's just a couple of things right there. The negative impacts of plastic. Now, we read a lot of those on there, so I'm just going to put down just a couple since you guys know so many. So some of the negative impacts, they don't break down easily, and they actually, and then I'll leave a few. That one's an easy one. You guys can fill the rest of that out. So we're gonna move on. to the next question. So use specific evidence from the article you read and both videos to help you fill in the tables below. Provide at least 3 pieces of evidence for each table. Please write answers in complete sentences. All right, so what are plastics? 3 complete sentences. So I'm gonna put one, you guys put the other one. So plastics are chemical compounds made of fossil fuels. Here we go. Chemicals might come from fossil fuels. That come from fossil fuels. Now, because I know we have, according to sources, but we'll cite that, but just in case we need this one, I'm going to cite this one as, let's write this, KQED, that was the article, who cited that? So now you guys, we're gonna write 2 more. Plastics are, blah, 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 and lots of information here and in lots of the other ones. The next one, history and uses. Again, I saw that here. We got lots of uses in the videos, especially. Okay, so plastics were first made in the 19th century. One of the first plastics was made for decorative purposes. If I could spell right, that'd be great. All right, so, and then again, keep on going. Find, this one, use them in the other articles. Let's see, there might have been something in here. Oh, this is the good one that tells us about breaking down into small. Oh, here we go. We'll just pop down. So we know the benefits, so we'll get back to that. But since I'm in this article, I'm going to pop down to the negative impacts. According to the sources, how are plastic bags? Okay. According to, so we always like to start with according to when we're citing someone. Keeps everything nice and legal and safe. So I'll just write the news according to the article. Plastics break down into small pieces, becoming brittle and eventually make it to the waterways and food chain. Okay, now you just have to find 2 more negative impacts all over the place. This actually pretty much took care of all. Let's do that, because then you can move on to how it affects other plants and how it affects us. But let's get back up to the benefits. According to sources, what are good things about plastic? And the good things about plastic is that they keep us safe. the good things about plastic is that they help keep us safe and provide medical necessities like plastic hips and prosthetics and like little valves that go in your heart. This is where I'm going to. So, and this kind of oh, look, there's one. There's one right there. I'm going with this one. It kind of meshes this one together. Harsh chemicals. There's negative impacts. Doesn't pervade. Again, you'll find the other two here. There are negative impacts. Plastic pollution. According to the sources, what are some examples of how plastics pollute the environment? We have this whole thing down here. I'm going to let you guys do this one because I think that it's pretty obvious how that they pollute the environment. But let's see. Human health, according to sources, what are some? So one of the big sources I found was one of that video. Let me just bring that up. It was the video, Are You Eating Plastics for Dinner? Okay, according to, we'll do this. Dinner video. Let's see, here, I'll play it. All right, increased chance for cancer and other stuff. You guys can add to that. All right, and then recycling. How do we recycle plastics? Well, and those articles have that too. So using the evidence collected in steps 2 and 3, write a 3 to 5 sentence paragraph that summarizes the problem plastic debris is complete for humans and the environment. So what I suggest is kind of bringing some of those sentences that you wrote and bringing them down and like molding a paragraph from it. Let's see here. So let's see, what is the problem? So you could write, according to the article, let me see, then it was a National Geographic article, which is, oh, that's this one, KQED. Okay, so according to KQED article, plastic are created by, how many plastics are made of chemical compounds made from fossil fuels and cannot biodegrade. Furthermore, because they don't degrade, they just blah, 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 blah. So I don't want to do this whole thing for you because I kind of am. So that's just to give you guys the nice, thorough example of how we want this document to look. So nice full sentences, using as many of the articles as you can and videos to incorporate it, and that'll pretty much do it. This concludes today's lessons, and if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. Always check Google Classrooms. You can email me and Google Hangouts as well. All right, stay safe out there.